No. Hi, I'm Justin and this is Steve, and we're here today at the Boathouse in Norfolk, which is the home of Silverbirch and Hou Canoes, as well as Winona and Grail Paddles and many other fine canoeing brands. But we're going to talk to you today about the options and standards across the Hou and Silverbirch canoe ranges, because the options are all now the same across both brands. So let's start with the material.
Brilliant. So all of our boats, whether Silverbirch or Hou Canoes, are made with rotationally moulded polyethylene. They're foam cored to make them nice and stiff, and they've got high density plastic on the inside and the outside to help with impact resistance. The difference between Duralite and Duracore comes down to its use type. Duralite is an absolutely brilliant material. It's great for use in most circumstances. And Duracore has a slightly higher abrasion resistant outer. That makes it slightly heavier than Duralite, and it comes in a simplified number of colours. Again, that comes down to how we make it.
Cool.
Do you want to?
So that's the material. The next is how we cut the boats. So we have a high line cut or a low line cut. There is no such thing as a standard because we have no standards. So when you're speccing your boat, you can go high line or low line across all of our trad boats. And I guess that depends on where you're going to use the boat and what you're doing it for.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, as far as we're concerned, low line is perfectly good for most uses. It's a, as the name would suggest, slightly lower trimmed boat. Has advantages and disadvantages. The biggest advantage in average use is it makes the boat a little lighter. A low line trim is typically a couple of kilos lighter than a high line. And it also reduces the amount of windage the boat might have in open water. Downside, it comes down to if you're using the boat in maybe whitewater or moving water or choppy conditions on a lake. And having that extra bit of boat, that will help you in terms of just helping to keep it a bit drier. So it very is a use case driven scenario. If people are unsure, by all means contact us and we'll help advise on your specific conditions.
And that's the same with everything that we do. We're always here on the phones. If you want to give us a call or pop in if you're local, then we can always chat to you about canoes and canoeing and all of that. So once we've got the hull material and the height sorted, the next question is what gunnels. And that's a real simple one. We do PE gunnels like on this Silverbirch boat here, or we do wood gunnels like on this boat behind me. The wooden gunnels save what, 1.5 to 2 kilos roughly on a boat?
Yeah. It depends on the length of the boat, but in that region.
But you will need to look after them a little bit with oiling them regularly and just taking a bit more care. But the PE gunnels are the bomb-proof option, and that's a fairly simple decision on your boat. Are you going to look after it? Yeah. If you are, then have the wooden gunnels because they're nice. Next up is lacing, and we do two options: either just end lacing, like over here on the end of the boat, where the lacing comes to the end of a 32 inch 32 inch airbag. We've got a peak one in this boat here, so you can see how that's set up. Or we go full length lacing, which obviously covers the ends, as well as, is it 6 gear loops that you get in the middle? I don't know.
Again, it depends on the exact length of the boat, but about 6.
Yeah. There we go, that's a good point. So yeah, you get these gear loops like you can see here. Also, whilst we're on end lacing, another option that we provide is an end loop, which is 10mm floating rope.
Is indeed.
Available in yellow or orange. But coming back to the lacing for a second, we do this in, do you know how many colours?
10, I believe.
Oh, I have no idea, that's why I was doing that. So there we are, 10 different colours of lacing. And yeah, that kind of covers the ends. What are we on to now? Seats. Can you talk us through seat options? Because there's a few there, isn't there?
Not a problem. So this is a standard wood web seat. This is what our boats come with as standard. It's perfectly comfortable, flat bench seat. Whether it's tandem or solo, that's the standard seat. There are options beyond that. So this boat here, as it's spec'd in front of us, actually has curved seats. The seats in the boat are curved wood web seats. Again, very durable, but with the added advantage of having a curve through them like the one I'm holding. The one I'm holding is a curved cane seat. Aesthetically, very beautiful. Again, much like the vinyl and wood gunnel option, it comes down to durability and your ability to look after the boat. If you can store it in a dry, calm, cool place, then the cane seats are absolutely beautiful and perhaps slightly softer to sit on. The nylon webbing's a lot more durable, so if you can't be that good with your gear, then that's possibly the way to head. The thing I love about the curved seats is because they've got this shape and the dishing through them, they tend to centralise the boat under you. So, for example, if you want to paddle sitting over on the edge against the gunnel, it naturally lifts the other edge of the boat. So it greatly helps with edging. And to be honest, I think it makes me better than perhaps I should look in a boat.
So
it's a good hack. So yeah, that's a curved seat. As I said, we've got the two options, the wood web or the cane in them. And as I say, they're quite a tactile upgrade. They're quite comfortable to use.
And then the other seat that we do is a wide seat for putting in the centre of the boat. And all of our boats can come with 1, 2 or 3 seat. Well, the 14s you can struggle to get 3 seats in, but then conversely the Chieftain and the SB17 you can get 4 seats in both of those, which is 17-foot boats. So that I think covers seat options.
Yep. It's probably worth saying if we pop the central seat in the boat, it goes in the centre. So. And just in case it's not obvious to people, it goes in place of the yoke. So important to note, if you do have a central seat in your canoe, you do lose that ability to lift it solo. And perhaps you need to look into things like removable yokes if you still want that ability. But again, if you have questions about that, please contact us and we'll happily talk through the pros and cons with you.
We will indeed. Well, that brings us nicely onto yokes. Let's do yokes. So, if I can get these out here, we've got Steve talk through these as I fish them out.
Okay, so again, this is our standard wood web yoke. Most people tend not to carry their boat solo, not in reality. So we pop in a standard flat yoke like this. It's great for occasional use, and sitting there in the centre of the boat, it also helps to give the boat additional structure. So that's what we supply as standard. If you're carrying your canoe a lot, it may be worth looking into a 3D yoke like this. The beauty of a yoke like this is it's designed truly as a yoke to sit comfortably on your shoulders. If you're carrying the boat lots, it's a no-brainer and probably one of the best things you can consider adding to your boat. Options available are solid ash, as I was just demonstrating, two-tone ash and cherry, as is in this boat here.
Nice.
And then there is a third example, which is a pure cherry yoke.
Oh, I didn't know about the pure cherry yoke.
Yeah, it's a bit of a secret.
Is it? Why do you keep it a secret?
Because I like them, I haven't got very many.
5 cherry yolks. just to annoy Steve.
Yeah, thanks.
Right, so that's yolks. Next up, you'll see this boat is fitted with a kneeling thwart. We do also do a skinny seat option, don't we?
We do indeed.
Which is similar to these, but skinny as in this way, which you can have in place of a kneeling thwart. So yeah, again, options across both Silverbirch and Hou.
Yeah, you'd obviously look to have the kneeling thwart in your boat if you were intending to paddle it solo a lot. Many people like to kneel in their boat rather than sit on a seat, and so it gives them a more central position in the boat, makes the boat more reactive when using it in that solo way. So as the boat is outfitted here, This is the most commonly spec'd outfitting, so it's a standard tandem with the addition of the kneeling thwart. That gives the options for just about anything you want in terms of one person, two person, heavily loaded, not loaded. So that's why you'd have a kneeling thwart there. And yeah.
That's the most versatile setup you can really have, as Steve was just saying, the 2 seats and the kneeling thwart. That brings us nicely on to how we ship the boat to you. We prefer not to package our boats because it does involve using a lot of single-use plastic. So you'll notice on the website that you can choose whether to have the boat sleeved in plastic bagging or not sleeved. And we deliver all of our boats on specific canoe trailers, so don't worry about the boat being damaged on a truck or anything. When it's on its way to you, it will be delivered on a canoe trailer by one of our fine team. So we would prefer you not to have the boat in packaging. Let's all be a bit kind on the environment, if we can. I think that's about it, really.
I've got one last thing to go into,
which
which we haven't considered in our video script.
So it's not on the list?
It's not. No, it's not. Colour.
Ooh.
Obviously, Silverbirch and Hou are world renowned for our options in terms of not just colour of rope, but colour of boat. It is possible on our website to configure boats. So the boat you've got in front of you has got a custom banded colour scheme, and as you can see, it has a non-standard yellow interior and highly contrast pink lacing to go with it.
This is like a rhubarb and custard boat.
It is. That's exactly what it's called in the shop inventory, actually. I love it, but it's my own taste, so...
That's questionable at best.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
So in all seriousness, you can specify almost anything and configure it on the website to look as fine as this boat does here. We'll then manufacture it, and throughout our core season, we dedicate 2 days every week to making custom Duralite boats like this. So a boat ordered in season should be delivered to you within a month.
Happy days.
And that's that.
I think that's about everything. So we'll see you next time we do a video.
Thanks.
Ta-da.